Hi, everybody. I'm here on a Sunday night. Not sure how it's gonna go tonight, but I'm hoping I'll see some of you here. I have discovered in the past that the weekdays are a hit or miss. I mean, the weekdays can go either way, but a lot of times the weekdays are not really good for me to come on. I have noticed that. So, hey, Sensei, how are you? Thank you. You too. Right back at you. Yeah, so, I had a little bit of a crazy weekend, I guess. I hang out with one of my old-time friends. I've known him for about 15 years almost. And we got really drunk. And yeah, we had a good time. But I mean, it is really true. I notice it, and I make this mistake every time, but it's like, I don't purposely get that hammered, right? It's just like throughout the night I just drank and we're having a good time, and then you stop paying attention about how much you drink, and then it happens, and then next thing you know, you're fucking hammered. So yeah, so that's pretty much how that went. And then with him, it is like this too. Whenever I hang out with him, it's like we don't go to bed. We just stay out. Like, he'd come to my house after the bar, and we just stay up and we listen to music, and we freaking just drink and talk about nonsense or whatever. So I didn't even sleep on like Friday night, early Saturday morning. I didn't even sleep. So then it's like finally it was like 10 or 11 o'clock, and I was like, in the morning, I was like, I gotta go to bed right now. So I went upstairs in my bedroom. I left him down there on the couch, and then I come down and I was like, and I'm telling him, like, dude, I feel like absolute dog shit. Like, lack of water, lack of sleep, it'll just, baby handsome. Oh my goodness. He is such a good, my cat is such a gentleman. Like, you guys can see Sweetie right there. And usually he jumps on the bed there and sleeps there, but because she's there right now, he's like, I'm gonna just sleep on the curtain down there, and I'm just gonna leave her and let her have the bed. When there's food, when I give them food and there's not enough, like in one bowl or whatever, the three that are allowed inside, and then they're all on there and he's eating first, he will step aside to let the girls eat, and then he eats after that. He's so sweet. He's really sweet. Sweetie Kels, where are you going, sweetie? You just got here, sweetie. Sweetie, what are you doing? But yeah, so got really drunk. So and my whole point of this is that like, it really is that this is not, it's not the same as it was when I was in my 20s. Like, I can tell you that right now. It's not the same. In my 20s, nema problema, like, no problem. I can do this shit 3 nights in a row. I can do this shit all week if I have to. I'll struggle at the end there, but I'll do it, no problem. No headache, no bad feeling, no sickness, no nothing, unless I go like really, really hard. I had a couple of hangovers in my 20s too, but not as I get them now, right? And it's like, oh my god. So then it's like, okay, I have a hangover. I would wake up and I have a hangover for a few hours in the morning, and then it'll go away throughout the day. Oh no, not now. Holy shit. And like I said, I don't get hangovers. It's more really the lack of sleep and the lack of water. Because like, I can drink, the same amount and feel fine the next day. If I drink enough water and get enough sleep, then it's okay, but yeah, so I fucking I woke and yesterday was nothing but laying in bed. I'd get up like every 45 minutes or so, eat something, snack on something, lay back down in bed. Not sleeping, can't sleep because my head is pounding, right? Took Tylenol, took the edge off, made it better, but still I can feel it back there, right? Like it helps the pain, but you know it's there. It's fucking there. Oh my god. So I spent all day yesterday just like, oh my god, laying there and just feeling like absolute dog shit, man. And I was so mad at myself too, because like I wasted a whole day of working on the book, you know, because I did that instead. And I'm like, oh my god. But, you know, it was fun, and it was the weekend, and it's, you know, it's alright. But yeah, that was pretty wild. That shit was pretty wild. So today I worked all day on the book. I did procrastinate a little bit in the morning, because I'm still like I'm still feeling this shit. This is still kind of lingering, and it's like in my 20s, like that wouldn't even be a talking point for me right now, you know. I'd be totally recovered, but in my 30s it's like, nope, that shit's still lingering. So, but yeah, I thought I felt a cat. Something is touching my feet. So yeah, I'm still feeling it very slightly, but not so bad. So that I'm here, you know, I'm like, okay, I should have been streaming yesterday too, but you know, I felt so shitty I couldn't. But whoa, my hair looks like really good right now. I'm like, wow, how is that going on right now? Shiny. Look how shiny it is. Yeah, coconut oil. Coconut oil works. Also, somebody told me a trick, and it's not the first time that I heard this trick, but it's like somebody said, leave a little bit when you condition your hair, leave a little bit in there. It'll make your hair good, but for me, it's problematic, because like my if I leave stuff in here, it gets oily like right away, right? Because I tend to have oily skin. So it makes my hair oily then. So what I do, but not this part will be dry. So what I do is I wash it out, all of this out, but I just leave some in here. And then it's all nice and shiny. Yeah! But anyway, how's everybody doing? Enough about me. I'm here now. Hopefully I'll see some of you. I'm grateful Sensei already showed up and said hi as usual. Which is really awesome. And I really appreciate that. It's such a kind gesture. And, you know, Sensei, he does it every single one of my streams. He comes in and says hi. And you do that every time. And that's like, wow, thank you. You know, that's really amazing. Yeah, but, yeah, so I do feel good. I slept a good amount, I think. So I got some rest. So now, ready to do this here. Waiting for you guys. That's another thing that happened. I did something to my neck, like, but it's like, it's not really noticeable, but only when I turn like a certain way or whatever. And it gives me also did not help with my headache yesterday. I'm so glad it's gone, you know. But when you have these type of things, that anything, I'm very sensitive with headaches. I've always been like that. When I was in my teenage years, it was really bad, and it was like a sign of like puberty. I would get headaches all the time, and then I'm very quick to get them. It's not migraines. I don't really get migraines. I think I've had like 1 or 2 migraines in my life, but like if I get hit in the head, if I hit my head somewhere, or some pressure is on my head for a long time, or I put my ponytail too tight, like, it'll happen. But it's all good. I feel better. I feel good now. Discord Nitro, whatever that's supposed to be like. There's a regular Discord. Pfft. Sweetiekins, don't do that now. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to let her out real quick. Hold on a second. Okay. Don't do that. Oh my god. Okay. Back again. My pants. Yeah. But anyway, it's been also really cold here, which is awesome. I mean, not real, not like compared to other places up north, but Florida standards are pretty cold. And on Saturday, or on Friday night, I keep saying Saturday, but on Friday night, I had a little fire with my friend out there in the yard. It was awesome. However, it suddenly started raining. In this cold, it started raining. I'm like, yes, that's what I love. That's what I love. And I sat there in the rain, in the fire, and then the next morning with the fire going. And he went underneath the canopy. I'm like, come on, what? And then the next morning, because like, oh my god, I got all during the night while we were partying. It was all about, oh yeah, metal, heavy metal. Of course, he's a metalhead. He's a punk. He's a punk. That's what he likes. So we're listening to Bad Religion, and I'm putting on some Vatane, and we're like, yeah. And then I got my little amp and my guitar, and I brought it downstairs. Like, the whole place was a fucking shithole the next morning. Brought that down there. I'm like, yeah. I'm like jamming out. And, yeah, so the next morning, I go downstairs, and I see the fucking guitar and the amp there. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I see my jacket. I was like, oh, my jacket. I grabbed my jacket. It's like soaking wet. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I sat in the rain with the jacket. It's soaking wet laying there. I'm like, oh, my God. There's fucking whole bottle of Lambrusco just sitting there. I was drinking that. Out of my goblet. I have like these awesome goblets. What the fuck was he even drinking? Oh, he was drinking Sailor. What is that Sailor liquor? Something. The name of like Sailor Tom or I don't know. Something like that. He was drinking that. He's like, you got any liquor, Jenny? Because that's like my that's my old name in quotes. I was like, yeah, of course. Sailor Jerry. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's actually an ironic story too, because I don't drink that shit, right? I drink vodka. I drink Fireball here and there, but that's really also only in emergency situations when I cannot, there's no way I can have, like, get my hands on vodka or whatever. And then I'm at the gas station or something and I just grab a bottle of the Fireball and I just drink that. But the Sailor Jerry thing, that's actually funny as fuck, because that is a handle. I had a handle of Sailor Jerry in the freezer. And so this bottle actually was bought by a guy that I used to hang out with, and one day he came to visit me and we hung out, went out to eat and did all that stuff. Now, I thought I had been pretty clear with him when I was like, okay, me and you are just friends, right? I don't want anything more. I'm not, we're just friends. And I really thought we were pretty clear, too, because he never, he was like, understood, and he never really tried anything. But then we were hanging out. He came to my house. First of all, he brought a bunch of weed, right? Which he doesn't even smoke. So that was already, I was like, okay, well, I smoke. But, it's like, okay, that's weird. But I was like, okay, maybe it's just a nice gesture or whatever. So then it was like, okay, we're not going to just hang out at my house all the time. We're going to go out. We're going to hit the bars or fucking go to a restaurant, or we're going to do something. We're going to do something. We're going to go out. Because that's what I like doing, preferably to a show. But, I live like an hour and 15 minutes at least away from any venue that I can see a proper metal show, not some bullshit. So then he asked me, we're in the car, and he asked me, like, so what do you, like, we were just talking about stuff, and suddenly I'm just telling him about, like, I like Baileys, right? Once in a while I like to drink some Baileys. It's nice. That's one of those drinks, like, I can have maybe one little one, and that's it, because it's, like, super creamy and sugary, and it's like, I cannot sit here and drink Baileys all night long. Frankly, I'm gonna get the shits, first of all, okay? And it's like I can't, I can't. It's just too sweet for me. I just like my clear liquor, little sugar, very, very, little calories. It's not so heavy to drink. Even beer. I love beer, but beer is too heavy for me to drink. I will gain weight right away. So I try to stay away from that. So anyway, we stop at the liquor store. The guy comes out of there with a big ass bottle of Baileys, the biggest one that you can get. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like, here you go. It's like in the paper bag, and I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, you bought a whole bottle of Baileys? He's like, yeah, you said you like Baileys. I was like, yeah, thanks, man. That's, yeah, awesome, dude. And that's when I was like, all right, no, that's not, that, no. Come on. Why Bailey? Like, come on. I don't like it that much. I just brought it up. It's not. I was like, oh my God. Now he's going to expect to see me drink Baileys all night long, right? Because he bought it for me. I'm like, oh, this is going to a direction that I'm not comfortable with at all. He also bought a bottle of Sailor Jerry's, a handle of Sailor Jerry's. Yeah. And then we went to an Applebee's and we ate there. And I was pretty lit already, and he was too. And then it started getting really weird, because then I started noticing he just kept on looking over here, right? And I'm like, my eyes are up here, whatever. Typical you men. Hey, no offense. Come on. We women we do it too, right? So it's just whatever. But anyway, so I noticed that. And I kept on thinking, like, is he so drunk that he doesn't think that I'm noticing it and it doesn't annoy me? I'm trying to have a conversation with him and all he does is like, I'm like, okay. So we say goodbye to, he brings me to the house. We put the liquor in the freezer and it's kind of forgotten about, and he leaves. And the next day I text, I think either he texted me or called me or something. But the next day we talk and I told him, look, I said, I noticed that you were like just, buying me that Baileys, staring at my boobs the way you did. I'm like, I felt uncomfortable. Like, I didn't feel, I think you still don't grasp that me and you are just friends. The motherfucker is coming with some kind of excuse, talking about he was looking at my necklaces or whatever. I was like, okay, sure. That's why you looked like so many times and for so long, right? Okay. And never asked. Like, he never asked about it, because if somebody were to look, people look at my necklaces all the time and they ask me, oh, so what is this necklace? That's like the thing that happens immediately upon that. They ask me, so what is the symbol that you're wearing around your neck? Oh, let me explain it to you. Not that you fucking actually give a shit or that you would know, but, we're making small talk. We're in America. The guy didn't ask me one time about nothing that I was wearing. He didn't strike up a conversation about it. So I know it was bullshit, right? I asked my best friend, too. I was like, what do you think about that? Him saying that. And she's like, nah, he's full of shit. And I was like, I know. So then he literally, he deleted me off of his Facebook. I don't know if he blocked me or not, but he just stopped talking to me. And we had been friends for a little bit, maybe a year and a half or whatever, not that long, but it was like we had talked about so many things. I had really trusted him. I had told him about personal problems that I had with things, and he just like deleted me out of his life. And that right there, this is the giveaway. This is the giveaway that he was trying to hit on me, because if he wasn't, then he would have just said that to me. He would have just said, look, like, I really wasn't doing that. I'm sorry that I made you feel this way, because I'm really not hitting on you. I understand. And then I would have said, okay, I'll take it, whatever. And then we would have moved on with our lives as friends. That's it. But there was no, like, he just, like, deleted me immediately, stopped talking to me, out of his life. And that's a total giveaway. Yeah. You did it. You noticed that I'm still not interested in you. And you're like, okay, I'm not, I don't have a chance to get her in bed, so I'm leaving. So the whole point, the premise of the story is, he left the Sailor Jerry's in the freezer, and I've had it ever since. And it's great for guests, right? Whenever I have guests over, which does not happen too often, but when I do, it's usually men, okay? Please don't take, that's just how it is. Like, I'm a tomboy. I get along with men. I don't really have many women that, I get along with women, but they don't get along with me. Like, they have, like, this, I guess because I'm a little bit more like loud and a little bit more open, and I don't keep my mouth closed, right? Because I'm surrounded by a bunch of like girls like this, they go to Sunday church in the Baptist church, and I'm like, fuck this, you know what I mean? So they're just kind of like, oh, they're intimidated by me. So they don't necessarily dislike me, but they're like, okay, she's a little harsh, a little brash, not really into it. So men are kind of like, first of all, most men, they just want to get with me anyway. You know how it is. Come on, whatever. But the other thing is, too, I'm fucking like, I don't give a shit. Like, you want that? That's not going to happen. But we can still hang out and drink together. Let's party, But so it really works out, because then when these guys are here, like my friend, my longtime friend, and he's like almost 20 years older than me. He's like my cousin or my big brother or whatever. He's like, you got some liquor, Jenny? I'm like, I sure do. Sailor Jerry, here you go. Because I don't drink it. So have it, I love it. But now it's almost empty. So now it's gone. But it's okay. It lasted a while. Because this is like a while ago now with this guy, with this other guy. I think it's like 2 years or something. And he hasn't been around. Crazy. I don't like that, because like if I were to do something like that and you would call me out on my stuff, or not, even if I didn't do it and you said, hey, I felt like you were doing this and that, I would immediately go in myself and be like, oh my God, okay, wait, did I do that? Did I give the impression of anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, and try to make this better. I wouldn't want to lose the person if they're my friend, or you know, or something like that. So people are really not good at being called out on stuff. People take this stuff so to heart. And it really is mostly men. Men are like immediately hurt in their pride. When you tell them, look, you know, you're doing this, and it's like, they're like immediately angry at you, you know, and it's like, you know, but dude, you are doing that, like, and I'm just not that type of person at all. If I do something really wrong, and I'm not like hyped up, because when I'm hyped up, it's hard for me to, you know, in the moment, sometimes it's hard for me to immediately understand what I was doing and go in myself. But once I get a quiet moment to myself, then I will reiterate what that person said in my head and be like, wait a minute, maybe I did do that. You know what I mean? But yeah. A lot of people have very, very big egos. For me, it's just, I think there's a big difference. Like, there's nothing wrong with having pride and dignity and integrity, you know, with yourself. But I do think that an ego, you know, when somebody is hurt by something that you do, or when they, you know, when something like this is happening, I think you really do need to put your ego to the side and say, oh, did I really do something there? You know what I mean? So, but for some reason, a lot of people, they can't do it. I don't know I don't know. Maybe their parents never taught them or some, because I really think that a lot of these things are because the parents really didn't teach them. You know, you when you make a mistake, you gotta, you know, put your ego to the side. I think it's it's a lack of education too. Maybe the parents weren't so educated that they have this. It's almost like a, you know, maybe just a moral understanding, but in a sense, it's also philosophic understanding a little bit. You know, that you gotta like, and that in order to have any kind of understanding of philosophy, you gotta have education. You know what I mean? Even if it's self-educated, but you know, like, it all kind of goes hand in hand. So I think like some people just, they've been so cradled by their parents, cradled in a sense, not even in a good sense, just kind of shut out from things. You know, like, especially when it comes to people, you know, a lot of monotheistic religious people, they keep their kids in this like box, you know, God this or whoever this, and you cannot wander outside of your box, you know, because this is the rules, you know. Even so, it's like, no, when you really look at the world in its whole, there's a lot more to it, and also a lot less than what your God is trying to say, you know. I mean, I think religion is very poisonous. It's not good. Organized monotheistic religions, that is, most of the time. Now, Satanism is supposed to be a monotheistic religion too, but it's fundamentals, and it's, you know, it's based on atheism. You know, it's just an evolved sense of atheism, a spiritual atheism, if you will, you know. So it's still a little different, you know, and the teachings, of course, are a lot different, you know. When you have the 7 tenets and stuff like that. So yeah, so I don't know. It sucks that people cannot say, I made a mistake, you know. And it's not even about, like, people sometimes also think when they say sorry that it's good. Like, say sorry, like, I said sorry, and it's like, that's not the point. Like, I don't even want you to say sorry. I want you to really, like, internalize what just fucking happened, and don't do it again. Like understand why this was incorrect, and then change your actions based upon the realization what that was. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way, change, is change behavior is the best apology, but it's, again, that also goes back to Christian teachings mainly, where it is really said in the book that better to ask forgiveness than to think about your actions prior, and it's like, no. A critically thinking person, like my parents, like myself, my parents would teach me, no. You think about your actions before you commit them, so that you realize what you're going to do and who you're going to mess up and what you're going to do wrong. It's like, that's okay, just do it. Just say sorry later. No, because what is the fundamental rule for that with Christians is God forgives you as long as you have remorse. See, I wasn't raised that way. It doesn't, in my world, God has nothing to do with anything that I do. It is in the moment, the action in the moment. What is it? It is to the creature, to the living being that I'm doing this to. It has nothing to do with God. I don't need forgiveness from God. I need forgiveness from the person. Because God doesn't exist to me. At least not a Christian God in that sense. In the sense that it's made out in the Bible, right? So that's a whole nother thing. So I think there's like a lot of shit just wrong with people's convolution and fucking morals and everything. It's just not, it's not right. It's not right. And that's why they have an ego, and that's why they cannot admit and cannot say, I fucked up. Okay, my bad. But that's why it is really dangerous. It is really dangerous to base really all your life and your morality on just a religious text. It doesn't matter what religious text, right? I think that you can take that and add it into your repertoire of what helps you, what is like constructive and productive for your morality and for how you act in your life, but I don't think it should be solely the only thing that should drive. Like, if you do not have a feeling, if you do not have a feeling of, for me it is hard when it comes to humans. When it comes to humans as a mass, I'm really, I'm like a sociopath. Like, I literally have no feeling, if not worse. When it comes to the individual that I have wronged in some way, then it is a feeling of remorse. But it is more of a feeling of course, there's a little bit of a feeling in me that's like, I can feel my heart there and say, fuck, I didn't want to hurt this person. But a lot of it comes from my own, integrity. I feel like I didn't just betray that person, but I betrayed myself too. My own character. And I don't like that feeling, right? Now, when it comes to animals, it's like, I just want to scream and cry when I hurt an animal accidentally or anything. Like, I just want to look like, oh my God, I cannot believe I hurt you. It's, because animals are so innocent. They deserve nothing but love and good treatment and protection. That's all that animals deserve, because animals live on instinct. They live for survival. They do not have emotions like attached, at least not negative emotions, attached to anything that they do, unless it's out of fear or protecting themselves. And domesticated animals, all they do is love you. If you do not harm them or hurt them, all they do is love you. So it's like, That's all these creatures deserve, is our love and protection. And that's it. I don't give a shit. Like, if I were, I always tell you guys this too, if I were in politics now, you know, with an education, with everything in my situation, I can't. But if I were, my goal is to fight for everyone. But my main goal is, people have to be not just educated when it comes to education's sake, but they have to be emotionally educated too, morally educated. And that would be my first step, because in order for me to want to protect people, like, as much as I want to protect them too, or would like to, they have to be honed in this, in emotional and critical thinking, that they can have compassion for others. A person that can have compassion for another person, they're on my good list. They're on my list of a person that I would want to save, that I would want to help, right? If they can have compassion for animals, firstly, and for humans, secondly, right? That's it for me. And I would always want to help. Unfortunately, most people, talking about sociopath, most people are cold. And it's an ignorance. This is like, my mom always said, like, a person that lacks the intelligence, that really lacks the IQ, they cannot really feel compassion for anything. They might be able to feel certain emotions, but they cannot feel actual compassion for a person's pain, or even an animal's pain, unfortunately. And because the world is filled with people that their IQ is very low. IQ can improve over time if you work on it, like reading, doing things, educational things. But the problem is, most people, the IQ is not even high enough to understand that. So it will always just remain, that way. And it's like, damn, like, what can I do? So the first step would be give them an education, in any way. Because even if you give them regular education, the emotional, progress would probably, come in consequently after the, regular education. But, damn, I'm spitting some good shit tonight and nobody's even here. Damn, that's okay. It happens. It happens. Should have been here yesterday. Should have been here yesterday. I knew it. But, well, I'm grateful anyway, because I do see Sensei was in here, or is in here, and I do see Wandering Bishop is here. He's not saying anything now. Just watching me from the corner. What is it called? Lurking. At least it says the name, but I don't know. I don't know how accurate this is anyway. I don't know. That's not right. Huh? That's not right at all. I'm looking at something right now on my YouTube, and it's one of the, like, when you listen to like a meditation channel, they just have like one picture, but then the music is playing, and I'm looking at this picture right now, and it's of a woman that's sitting there, and with the legs crossed and in the meditative position, if you will, posture. But it's obviously, it looks like an AI generated image, possibly. Looks very realistic though. However, her breasts are positioned like too high on her. Like, or maybe they're just small like that. Maybe. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks weird because she has like really broad shoulders, but she's rather skinny and has just a little bit muscle, and then she has small boobs, but they seem like they're up here or something when I feel like they should be here. Well, mine are like, I can't compare mine to that, but that's like that's not even a B cup, I don't think. That's an A cup, I think. Shit. I had that in going on to high school, which high school in Germany starts at the age of 10. So, yeah, there was a time, like in my late 20s, my late 20s, mid 20s, something like that. One time I went to an actual like boutique with my friend. She's like, we need to go there, and the lady's gonna actually fit the bra on you, and she's gonna check it all out and make sure it fits right. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I want a lady all on. But anyway, I did it anyway, and I put it on, and I said, oh, my size is 38D or 36D. And I went there, and I put on 36D, and I'm like, she's like, no. She's like, that's not right. And then she gives me a 38 double D. And I was like, no way. Put it on. Put it all right. She's like, yep, that's your size, 38 double D. And I was like, okay. Well, I guess I take it. And ever since then, that's been it. Yeah, that's when you become like, I feel like that's when I became like a woman, was like in my late 20s. When people think a woman is already a woman at 18, no. Not a man either. No. That doesn't happen till later. At least that's what I think, but anyway, that's the only thing I do dislike of this weather is the dry skin that it promotes. I cannot put anything on it because it will cause me to break out. So I gotta just deal with the ashy skin. Is my baby handsome here? Baby handsome. Oh yeah, you're still sleeping on the curtain. Because the curtain on my window is so long that it like drapes on the ground, and then he just kind of huddles up there, and then he sleeps there. But yeah, I think maybe I'll hop off, guys. Doesn't look like there's much activity tonight. But I do want to say thank you to the people that came in. Thank you, Sensei, for saying hi in the chat. I appreciate that a lot. That is very thoughtful of you to do that. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. Maybe, but like I said, I have found that I do not have really the best luck during the week with streaming, but I think maybe I'll try anyway, because I'm not working this much this week. Bullshit. But, so I will probably have a lot of time on my hands, and then I will work on my book. Well, I don't have much time on my hands there, but I will work on my book, and then when I'm done working on the book after like 6-7 hours, I'll come online then and stream. But yeah, again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming in tonight. I'll try to be back tomorrow. I don't want to make any promises, though. But until then, help the cause, stop reproducing, and don't forget to mourn those that are in spiritual turmoil. And until next time, I say tschüss, zdravo, and bye.